Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
Real estate. Oh, we all think of real estate when we're in South Florida, but it's very troubling for some people when they've been living in their home for a long time. Maybe their spouse has passed away, and they just can't enjoy that home anymore. They need to move. And now you have to find someone to help you sell that house. And there are a lot of people out there who will say, oh, I can sell your house. But I've been very fortunate to meet someone, Paul Saperstein. And Paul specializes in boomer and senior sales of homes. So, Paul, you really love this, don't you?
Yes, I take it to heart. Really care about the clients, listen to their exact needs, and perform.
And tell us what some of the people who you've been dealing with, what do they need, actually? They want to sell their home, but they're nervous.
Typically, they don't know where to start. They know where they need to end up because their kids are guiding them as well. So I'm kind of the liaison in between the kids and the parents. We help them get the house or condo ready for sale. We help them with pricing. We help them with staging, redecorating, cleaning out the property. They've been, collecting stuff for 20 plus years and, just ready for sale.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And you pass over that very lightly, but it's not lightly because sometimes I've gone into a lot of older adults' homes and you can hardly make your way to the door with all the newspapers and all the old stuff there. So how do they, when you tell them what you have to do, after they meet you, I know they'll let you do anything because you have this wonderful personality, but at first, what do you want to do? No, you can't have that. No, I have to have that. I have to have this. And so you have to be a psychologist, I think, at the same time, don't you?
Yes. We try to make sure that their house still feels like their home. 1 month to the seniors is a long, each day is important. So we try to make their house their home. We don't ask them to take down any pictures. We don't ask them to do anything that's going to be too stressful. If we have to send the carpet cleaner in, we would send a carpet cleaner in for them. We try to make it like a concierge service while they're staying at their home. Their property is going to sell. It's very desirable. They probably paid significantly less than they're going to sell it for. So they're always excited about the sales price. It's just how do we maximize the dollars for them? And that's by getting the place ready to sell.
Well, something impressed me is that a lot of people are in real estate and they could make these sales, but you have chosen to be certified, be able to be helping other people who are over the age of 50. Tell us about that course.
Yes, I went for a senior real estate specialist course in the last year or so, which it's a certain amount of hours you do through the local board, and it's a written test, and they make you it's a reading part. They make you really understand the different generations and what's important to them, how they grew up, the value of money. And, a lot of the seniors always going to think they're going to outlive their money, and we're there to reassure them that we're going to get every penny we can out of the property and, really, cater to them during the sale, which they're not used to.
Yeah, catering to them during the sale, I think, is very important for our listeners listening to you because they are nervous, and a lot of them don't even have their kids around. So now they have all these people that they want to go and they want to sell the house for them. Now, they just want to make a fast sale. They don't know what's really important. But it sounds to me like, we just talked about you're having a mother who lives down the street and you've been doing this for 20 years. And RE/MAX is a very well-known company.
Yeah, we're the biggest in the world.
Yeah, and
nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX.
Well, okay, so you've been very successful. What do you attribute your success to? Now, I know that the market right now is good. And people, if they're going to sell, they should do it now. But what else is it about you and your personality?
Actually caring. When I tell them I can get them a certain number, I'm going to be honest with them, look them right in the eye, and actually try to achieve that number. If their expectations are too high, we'll try to, we can always start at their number, but just with a friendly reminder that in 30 days, if it doesn't work, let's listen to the market,
So Paul Saperstein is my guest, and he is, I said, with RE/MAX. And I'm going to give you a number to call him. Remember, this is Pencil Talk Radio, so you want to write this number down. If you haven't made a decision yet on who you want to sell your house, you can call him. He'll come. There's no obligation. You can talk to him. You can talk to 10 other people if you want. But I think when you call him, you're going to see this is the guy you want to be with. So the phone number is 561-220-5296. Again, 220-5296. And something that you say here, no transaction processing fees. Are those with other real estate people?
Yes. I actually sell the most real estate at our RE/MAX. We have 6 offices, 200 agents, and I personally do not feel it's right to charge a processing or transaction fee. I kind of classify them as junk fees, which is on top of commission. So one thing that sets myself apart from the other agents is I'm not here to get my firm rich. I'm here to get the clients the most money they can out of the property.
I like that. Sounds like you really care. That's really important. So let's just look at people, the various clients you've had. So someone calls you and they have a house. Now maybe they say it's too big and they now want to downsize. So would you handle all those transactions?
Yes, we handle rentals if they'd rather rent it out to see if they, want to downsize, they want to hold on to the property for a year for tax purposes, maybe they need the rental income. No deal is too small, no deal is too big. We handle everything with the same love and care, and, we give them the same attention no matter what price range.
Okay, so now some people want to move into a senior community, and I've heard the stories that they make the appointment, they're saving the apartment for them, and they can't sell their house, and they can't get in there until they sell their house. What do you do with all this?
Well, we when we analyze the property, we tell them typically how long it's going to take, what they expect. We give them a whole net sheet. They usually, depending if they're, if they have to float, if they're really, their health is going downhill, and they have to move in prior to sale, there is ways to borrow money against the property and, so forth, but we don't want them to take any risks. So we price it aggressively according to when they have to, move out. And, when they go to put deposit to these other places, we're there for them. We tell them if it's too early, if it's too late, what we think. We give them the websites to go to help them find assisted living or independent living. So we're there every step of the way.
You really do. Well, that's interesting. I really appreciate you for doing that. I don't think a lot of other real estate salespeople, they probably don't know, even if they would care. But it sounds like this has really become you're the expert in this.
Yeah, we are. It's it's a neat market to work in. It's not the most expensive market, but it gives me the most personal pleasure by working in it.
I love that.
Yeah.
That what they say, if you're passionate about it, you're going to be successful, but it's lovely because they do really need someone to take their hand. And as we were talking before, maybe their families love them, but they're not here, many of them. And some may be in California and some in New York, and they're not going to come down. But I guess what you probably do, knowing you now, that you call them, you keep in touch with their families, and you let them know what's going on.
Yes, we always have the phone number for the kids. If anybody has a power of attorney, if the property's in a trust agreement, we do all our homework first and make sure if and when the property's ready to transfer, that everything is in order. We can wire the money to any of the kids. We can wire the money to any of the nursing homes. We just make the transaction very seamless.
Yeah. See, you're talking about things very quickly about it, but I have to tell you, they're serious. And when someone comes in and they don't know what you know, this person and can't think for themselves about it, because there's a lot of business situations with what you've just said. So sounds to me like you give them a path. We're going to do this, and then after that we're going to do this, and you're going to make sure that they're happy with something before they sign it, which, you hear terrible horror stories about someone, they signed it, they didn't even know what they're talking about.
Correct. When we first meet the seller or the buyer, we never ask them to sign anything on the spot. We leave them the paperwork document, which they always have the right to cancel for any reason. We'll, scan it to the kids. We'll email it to anybody they want, attorneys, and then come back for another face-to-face visit if and when they're ready. We are not aggressive when we, are meeting clients, but once we start to market the property, that's where we do get aggressive. Yeah.
My guest is Paul Saperstein, and Paul has lived here a long time. He is very happy that he's an expert in this. It's not just selling real estate. So if you have had a lot of friends who say, oh, my friend just saw the real estate, they live in a condo, and here's the person's number, be careful. Why don't you go to someone who really specializes in the senior market? And let me give you his phone number again. It's 561-220-5296. 220-5296. And actually, you have a website, and it's your name, isn't it? It's paulsaperstein.com. So you can do that. Now, when you said when you're selling someone's home that you come in with a photographer, you come in with a staging, people don't really know what that means. Why don't you explain that?
Sure. In today's world, over 90% of the home buyers will start their search on the internet. So the picture becomes, it's worth 1,000 words. We come in with a professional photographer. If there's any type of special view, we use drone photography, which shows aerials, lake view, golf view, so forth. We're really trying to, maximize the money they can get from the property. Prior to the photographer coming, we do come with a cleaning lady or /stager, which is, there's a miscommunication about staging. Some people think, staging could be, taking a vacant, empty apartment and filling it with furniture. We work with what we have. We can take a, property that's been lived in for 25 years and declutter it, depersonalize it, and make it show like a model home. And that's the goal. Everything is towards the same goal, to sell the property in the shortest amount of time for the highest sales price possible.
Okay, so I have a funny question to ask you, but let's say that it's on the market, it's for sale, and you have someone that's going to come see it. Do you try to get the person, the owner, not to be there?
No, we do not inconvenience them. There's one of the downfalls in the industry is the level of professionalism. So when we set appointments, with other agents, God forbid the other agent does show up or they're late, I would hate to have these seniors roaming around the neighborhood, going on a car trip they don't need to, being stressed out, wondering if it's clean, if they left the door unlocked. So they're always welcome to stay at home, and if they have any questions, they're more than welcome to answer them, but we just never want there to be any negativity of why they're selling. That's the only instruction we give to them.
Right. Yeah. It's really important, because that's a little bit frustrating for the person who's selling. First of all, they try to then talk to the person and the prospect, and that's not always so good either. But so you, of course, are probably going to be there when people come, too.
Yes, if they ask us to accompany, we can accompany. If it's a vacant property, we use electronic lockbox that records who goes in there, how long they're there, when they leave. We follow up with phone calls to give the, kids or the sellers feedback, what they thought of the property. Did they think it was priced right, underpriced? Are they planning on making an offer? So it is a process. It's just not throw it on the MLS, hope it sells. We're way more sophisticated than that, and that's why we're successful with it.
Now, you said something before our show about renting. So let's say someone wants to sell, but they're not anxious to buy. They want to rent. Will you handle that for them?
Sure, yes. A lot of times we try both at once. They'll say, we really want to rent, but if we get our number, we'll sell. So we'll put an aggressive rental price and a non-aggressive sale price, and whatever happens first, we try. We market it the same way. We still use the staging. We still use professional photography. It just, every deal we handle gets the same love and care. Yeah.
Paul Saperstein, you're good. I'm really glad that you've been on the radio, and a lot of people could really use your expertise. Let me give everyone your phone number again. It's 561-220-5296, and you can get on this website, Paul Saperstein, Saperstein, paulsaperstein.com. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Look forward to selling more real estate.